Imagine a project so huge it makes any regular construction job look like child's play. If we took all the money put into this thing, you could build a bridge that would go around our planet about 23 times. Is that crazy enough for you? It's such a huge investment that your head spins just trying to picture it. The New Silk Road, or the Belt and Road Initiative as it's known to friends, is the biggest infrastructure job in human history. We're talking about a connection that includes over 150 countries and costs trillions of dollars. That's a lot. It's the kind of thing that shifts the world's focus and makes us rethink everything. And get this, we're not just talking about roads and train tracks scattered around. This whole thing is much wilder. It's a global network of giant ports, endless gas pipelines, cutting-edge 5G internet, and important economic pathways. All of this, of course, points right to the heart of China, which wants to be the world's main hub. Inspired by that old Silk Road, which was the real deal of ancient trade, China wants to become the big global connector. They're putting themselves back at the center of the board, like they're the hosts of world trade. Let's understand how the original road changed the world, and how the Chinese plan to reshape our century. To get this new wave, we need to travel back in time to the original road, which started 2,000 years ago. Back then, silk was so valuable that people would cross 4,000 miles of deserts and mountains to get to Rome. It was a tough journey that would make any app-based trip today seem like a walk in the park. This network of routes was super dangerous, but it was as busy as a big city on a sale day. But hey, the Silk Road was much more than just selling expensive fabric, you know? It was like a busy highway for cultural exchange, spreading ideas, religions, and technologies we still use today, like paper and gunpowder. Cities like Samarkand became amazing places, mixing cultures and knowledge from all over the ancient world in a wild way. The Silk Road was, in a way, the first internet the world knew, connecting civilizations that didn't even know each other existed. It showed that globalization isn't a new idea, but an old and powerful force. This connection between people has always pushed history forward, changing society for both good and bad, depending on how you look at it. Now China wants to bring back this role of global bridge with a modern twist. After spending centuries somewhat isolated, this powerful country has come back with an economic hunger that's just mind-blowing. In 2013, the Chinese government officially launched the new initiative aiming for bullet trains, superports, and high-speed digital cables. It's a whole new ballgame, folks. This project solves a big problem for them: the extra industrial capacity in their factories. They create demand for their own products and also make sure they have easy access to all the natural resources they need. But don't be fooled, because this is pure strategy, not just economic charity. By funding infrastructure in many countries, China increases its political influence and creates ties of dependence that are hard to break. It's that soft power in action, offering a development model that's very different from the West's boring talk. For many countries out there, China has become the essential partner to get out of trouble and find progress. The world is watching, front row, the birth of a new power network that is exciting and scary at the same time. This global web is basically split into two main parts: the land belt and the strategic maritime route. The land belt connects China to Europe and Central Asia with tracks and pipelines that seem to go on forever. The maritime route connects important ports from Southeast Asia to Africa, creating what experts call a string of pearls. It's a fancy name for saying they're surrounding the oceans with top-notch Chinese infrastructure. Besides that, there's the digital Silk Road, which is where things get serious with fiber optic cables and satellites. They're expanding China's tech reach in a way no one can ignore. With over 150 countries on board, the initiative already covers 2/3 of the world's population. That's a lot of people connected under the same beat. The list of partners is diverse, including everyone from Pakistan and Greece to our neighbors, Brazil and Argentina. For many, it's a golden opportunity to grow, For others, it's a huge risk of losing their independence. This connection brings up serious questions about security and influence, and the impact of it all is still unfolding, like a TV show. For developing countries, the BRI can be a real-life game changer for people. New railways and ports connect isolated regions to the global market, creating jobs and that extra cash that makes all the difference at the end of the month. Chinese investments boost urbanization and modernize cities that have been stuck in time for decades. China's presence also brings a cool cultural exchange, with scholarships and tourism changing people's daily lives. Projects like the China-Pakistan corridor promise to solve energy crises and industrialize entire countries all at once. It's something to cheer for if everything goes as planned, because there's a lot of hope for the future. Many projects are already built and really changing things, like the port of Piraeus in Greece. That place became one of the busiest in the Mediterranean after the Chinese arrived with their money. In Kenya, the railway between Mombasa and Nairobi cut travel time so much that the local economy got a big boost. In Kazakhstan, they turned a desert into one of the biggest logistics centers in the world, which is truly amazing. These projects show that China has the technical skills to deliver global infrastructure quickly. But of course, all this building raises questions about whether the environmental and social costs are worth it in the long run for the local communities involved. Despite the progress, the initiative faces heavy criticism that can't be ignored at all. Many countries end up getting too deep in debt and falling into the famous debt trap, as happened in Sri Lanka. It's a trap. When a country can't pay, China ends up taking control of important assets for decades, which causes a lot of tension. A lack of transparency and claims of corruption often pop up in contracts that are kept very secret. Also, China is criticized for funding coal power plants that go against the fight against global climate change. It's something to think about carefully, because the environmental cost might be too high for future generations. In the end, the Silk Road is a geopolitical chess game that puts China as the ultimate superpower. By funding these projects, Beijing gains endless political influence across 3 different continents. This forces the United States and Europe to act so they don't fall behind in this new race for global influence and power. We are living through a historic transformation with China shaking up the established world order. And what do you think about all this movement? Is it a golden opportunity for the world or a threat disguised as progress? Leave your comments with ideas for future topics, and we'll see you on the next cultural journey, everyone.